Iran just created a new shipping lane with China, and it's such a big deal that the West could go to war with countries to try and stop it. Today, Iran announced they've completed a railway all the way from China to Iran to send their trade through, rather than sending it on ships, called the Iran-China Freight Rail Corridor. Now, the reason this is such a big deal is because not only does it halve the amount of time it takes for each country to send their goods to each other, but it also means that the West can't influence it. If you don't know, the current trade routes for Iran to China is by the sea, obviously, and cargo ships usually take about 30 days to do each journey. But this new commercial freight train from China to Iran can do the journey in just 15 days, which means that Iran can do twice as much trade with China. And as I said, this is such a big deal because the West can't influence it, and Iran can use it to get around Western sanctions, because the countries that this railway goes through don't support the West, and they support China and Iran. And for context, obviously, if they wanted, Western warships would be able to stop the cargo ships that go from Iran to China. So in theory, they could block off this trade route if the West wanted. But obviously, as this railway goes through countries that the West has no control over, it means that the West can't stop this trade. Which means, like I said, Iran doesn't have to listen to the West. It's worth knowing though that this isn't just a completed railway that nobody's using, it's actually operational now. In fact, the first Chinese freight train arrived in Iran yesterday. And of course, that's a really big deal. It means the railway is working and Iran now has a new trade route with China. Like I said, it means that Western sanctions aren't really going to work when it comes to trade with Iran anymore. And the US hasn't spoke on it, but to be honest, it's unlikely the US will speak on it. But it's still something to know about because it's really quite a big deal. But anyways, as usual, you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.